Okay, this one is your assignment. Okay, this one is your assignment. You need to submit on 13th of November. Okay, and then for the research proposal, you need to submit, I think, on January, 30th of January. And this one is carry 40%, 20% for article review, and another 10% is for presentation. Later I set the time for presentation. Okay, anything that you need to ask? You like to ask? Okay, Patan, do you have any question?
Yes, doctor. I wanted to ask that the articles should be from anywhere of the world or specifically from the Malaysian
Specific?
author.
No, you can refer to any articles, but please,
Mm-hmm.
when you refer to the article, is associated with your title,
Okay.
master title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one
Okay.
is review article. I explain first. I think I last week I have explained this one.
Okay, doctor. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, the article we you can quote from any article, journal, thesis, and also the Asian research lah. Okay, I explain first this one. Mm, okay, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, it is
Yes,
clearly
can,
visible.
doctor.
Okay. Okay, this one is the article review task. Is around 20%. You need to analyze two current article journals, thesis or dissertation. Basically, year 2021 and above lah. Okay, and then yeah, you need to analyze the article from aspect four aspect lah. First one is purpose, methodology, finding, and also the implication of the study. You need to write a review report based on the analysis that you given lah. And the suggested content for the review, you can use this one as a guidance. Introduction, summary, okay, and then discussion and also conclusion. If discussion, I think you should have, you should do in table. In table, you can use Pico format or Picot format lah. Okay, and then this one is the formatting, font, size, and so on lah. Spacing 1.5 pages, 4 to 5 pages only lah. Excluding the references and also appendix lah. You can use the Zotero-Bib for the reference manager. Zotero-Bib. Okay. Okay, wait. I explain first. Okay, Zotero-Bib. And then this one, Zotero-Bib. Okay, you can use this one. Okay, and then you can also use AI. AI like Bohrium, Bohrium DP. Okay, Bohrium is for AI. Okay, you can use this one, Bohrium. Okay, to search about the articles. Okay, you can type on the specific question, and then you can search lah. Okay, and then if you lazy to read, you can ask Lead Talk. Lead Talk, this one, Lead Talk. Okay, you can ask for Lead Talk. This one is just quite just a gentle reminder for your assignment. Okay, for today we look into the another chapter. Okay, research problem. Okay, anything to ask? Okay, Anita, do you have any question?
Doctor, we must analyze the two current journal, right? Can be
Yeah,
one article or one thesis, or must be
must be two.
two
Yeah,
articles. We
two
can join or
article.
not?
You can combine. Either you can choose article,
Mm-hmm.
or you can choose one article or one dissertation.
Okay. Okay, doctor.
Okay, anything?
Doctor,
Yeah.
can we have two articles or specifically one article and one dissertation? If we want
Yes,
to
yes,
review the two articles, we can.
yes. You can use. You can choose either articles or dissertation.
Okay, okay. That's upon us, our wish that what we are choosing.
Yeah. Again.
I'm asking that it's totally upon our wish that
Yes,
whatever
yes,
we are
yes,
choosing, we can.
yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Doctor, can you please repeat about the discussion part? Discussion, which discussion?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With discussion, Danisha? Not clear
The
about
discussion part in our article.
article.
In our article review later, the discussion part, you said put it in a table form, right?
Yeah.
So what do you, which website did you tell us to use just now?
Pico or Picots. Wait, I can show you the Pico methods. You can choose this one as a guidance, not for ultimate solution. Okay, for example here, you can choose a page population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. Okay, either you can also choose a PICOT for time frame, okay, PICOTs or PICOTs, okay, time frame, type of study, and settings. This one is a guidance, just for the guidance for your research discussion. Okay, because the suggested content of the review is just introduction, summary, purpose, methodology, finding, and also the implication of the study. This one you should make it critical. Do not just copy and paste. Criticals mean that you need to criticize either the purpose, either the method is appropriate or not. Okay, if example, if the purpose is not suitable, or is not enough, or lack of some of the approach, simple approach, you can suggest. Okay. Yes, Hafiza, do you have any question?
Yes, Doktor. Let's say saya cari first artikel saya berkaitan dengan teks. So the second article pun mesti related dengan tajuk teks juga ke ataupun boleh lain-lain untuk buat comparison?
boleh tajuk lain-lain lah, tapi make sure at the same ni lah, same topic lah, same area.
Same area, meaning that berkaitan dengan teks jugalah. Okay, faham.
Okay, yes. Patan, do you have any question?
No, doctor, not yet.
Okay. Okay, please okay, Lashwina, do you have any?
Yes, doctor. Doctor, the article has to be in Malay or English?
You can use either one lah, either in Malay or either in English lah.
All right, doctor.
Okay, okay, make sure you follow the research method cover that I provided in the article review task like this lah. This cover you should follow because every time you submit the article, you must follow the guidance. Yes, Fatni.
Doktor nak tanya, okay macam
Ha.
let's say saya punya research about multisensory classroom kan, and then kalau saya punya artikel tu macam multisensory untuk meningkatkan bacaan ke ataupun memang kena relate dengan classroom juga dua-dua?
Multisensory classroom. Buat dia punya core gap dia lah, apa yang you nak gaji.
Nak meningkatkan apa tingkah laku murid.
Tingkah laku murid.
Tingkah laku murid ADHD untuk masalah autism.
Jadi autism punya ni lah, autism punya behavior lah. Jadi artikel based on the research gap lah, behavior ADHD punya behavior punya problem lah. What is the gap yang you nak gaji?
Okay, thank you doktor.
Okay. Yeah, Isma, Nazhatul Isma.
Saya contohlah macam tadilah, kalau saya punya title proposal kaedah permainan interaktif untuk murid disleksia. Jadi artikel saya tu kena cari yang untuk murid disleksia lah.
Murid disleksia, apa dia punya gap dia? Apa dia punya problem dia? What is the core?
Meningkatkan kemahiran membaca suku kata KV.
3M tu lah, membaca menulis pengira tu 3M tu lah.
3M lah. 3M, kalau artikel tu dia berkaitan dengan 3M sahaja walaupun untuk perdana, aliran perdana.
Dia ikutlah kalau you punya proposal tu lebih kepada arus perdana, buatlah yang membaca saja. Dia ikut kamu punya ni lah. Dia cari dua artikel je.
Okay, terima kasih.
Okay, sama. Okay, I think you must follow this format lah. Okay, okay, like this assignment, and then please group B and then lecturer name is me lah. Okay, prepared by your name, your matric number, your program and your handphone number lah. Okay, this one is
HP number means?
Yes, Patan?
What does the HP number means? There was the written in the tablet.
Handphone. Your number, your contact number.
Okay, contact number. Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay. Contact number lah. Okay, and then this one is the rubric. The analysis must be beyond the summary lah. Like I said lah, you must criticize lah. And then avoid the confusing overlay or confusing articles lah. And then for the writing, you must suggest clear understanding about the issues that involved in this question. Basically regarding the research gap, and then the issues that you want to discuss. And then please also use the APA formatting. Okay, you can use this one. Zoterobib okay, for the references. Okay, and then for today, I think we look into the
Doctor, is there any limitation of the words in the article review?
Limitation Again?
Yeah, means we can maximize or minimize how much the words should be in the review of the articles.
You must have 4 to 5 pages, excluding the references. Okay,
Excluding the
I
reference.
think exclude. I think 4 to 5 pages is around 1,000 word. 1,000 to
Okay.
1,500 words. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
this
Thank
one
you.
is last week. Last week I've explained this one. Research problem. Not yet. Oh, I think this one is last week.
We've
Okay.
already done this, Doctor.
Okay. Okay, this planning educational research. This one done or not? Not yet. Ini belum
If I'm not mistaken, not yet, Doctor.
Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, doctor, we can see, but
Okay.
it's very in Zoom.
Okay. Okay, for today we look into the how you want to plan your educational research. Basically, the educational research is involve what you want to study, why it matters, and how to collect the data and how to interpret the result, all within the educational context. The key component of planning the educational research is first, you need to identify the research problem. You need to define a clear focus problem or question in education that needs investigation. Maybe I can show you some of PhD students. Okay. This one is later I share this one. UUM. UCSI. Okay, this one is developing gamified inquiry based learning module for documentary interviews. This one is based on the in China. In China, she is doing in China. She is a lecturer. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, abstract. Basically, you go for the problem statement. Problem statement. Okay, basically the problem statement you extract from the chapter 2 lah. But make sure you have extracted all the research gap. Later I show to you how you want to do the research gap. And then for the research objectives is what you need to achieve. Please make sure that your research objective is very structured. Very structured. For example, to examine, to explain, to study. Do not expect and do not implement that for research obviously is too broad. Okay, this one is very important. And then for the research question must align with the research objective lah. Okay, this one is the what you want to plan. First, to identify the research problem, formulate the research question, and then this one is features of good research question, characteristic of good research, and ethics in educational research. If you have any question, you can ask.
Clear now, doctor.
Okay. And then we have a quantitative research plan. Maybe I can okay, can you see this one? Because I put in the full screen. Okay, three section. First, you need to understand. Quantitative research is focusing on the numerical data and also the statistical analysis to test the hypothesis or else to measure the relationship between variables. A strong research plan ensures that the study is very systematic, valid, and also can be duplicated. Okay, introduction section, they have a statement of the topic. This is where you introduce your research problem clearly. Okay, explain what you are studying and why it is important and who is affected. Okay, this one is very important if you do the quantitative. Here, who does the quantitative? You can put in the chat. If you go for qualitative, you can put in the chat. Qualitative. Okay, just a generic survey. Okay, Muhammad Hakim, quantitative. Okay. Okay, this section also help the readers to understand the content and also significance of your study. And then B is to review the literature. The section demonstrate that you are familiar with the previous work in your field. Do not put a so generic overview of your literature. Make sure if you put some research, you should criticize either the research is appropriate or not. For example, if you go for gaming, gamification in to study gamification for ADHD student and so on, you should put in place what is your objective and what is your framework. You should have framework. And then you can also choose the review. Review, you can put a narrative review. You can also put meta-narrative review and so on. Okay, and then a statement of the hypothesis. Hypotheses are testable prediction derived from the theory or prior studies. Okay, for example, there is a significant positive relationship between student motivation and also for the academic performance. Okay, in quantitative research, hypothesis guide the data collection and also statistical testing. Okay, for key takeaway for I think for your study, begin with a clear, concise problem statement supported by relevant background. Okay, use your comprehensive literature review to identify what is known and what is unknown. And ended the interaction with specific hypothesis that can be tested using quantitative. If you use the quantitative. Okay, this one is basically quantitative. Later we discuss about qualitative. Okay, this one is introduction. You need to review of the literature. Provide overview of the topic. Very specific and position the study in context what is known, what is the gap, and more importantly, what is not known about the topic. What is not known about the topic, you can search in basically in if you go for Scopus, Scopus AI, Scopus, you can search for Boolean search. Boolean search, this one is important. Okay. Okay, Scopus, if you have, do you have any access for USI library? I think if you don't have, you should ask the library. This one is very important because you need Scopus every time you search for your literature, every time you search for your method and so on. Okay, okay, go for USI library. Okay, USI library. Okay, like this. Okay, you can use the Scopus AI to search the relevant topic and discover the relevant problem statement. For example, if you go for reading problems for ADHD or dyslexia student, okay, you can put this one. Okay, we search lah. We search your based on the topic. Topic. Okay. This one is the ADHD problem. What is the main problem? It will help you to understand and to search for research gap. Okay, like this. Okay, and then you can have the concept map like this. Okay, to generate some ideas. What is okay? You have reading disorder, basically fluency issues, learning disability. This one is the main gap. Okay, distractibility, executive function, inattention symptom, and so on. Okay, normally 90% of you using quantitative, and some of you use the qualitative. Okay, any question? Is it okay until now? If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, this one is statement of hypothesis. Okay, how you want to generate or build the hypothesis. Formal statement in quantitative research, hypothesis is formal, testable statement predicting the relationship between two or more variables. Okay, this one is very important. You must have two or more variables. For example, there is a significant positive relationship between student self-efficacy and their academic performance. Okay, it indicates the variable. Okay, as example, self-efficacy, academic performance, the expected relationship, positive, negative, or none. The impact or the effect, and then how each variable will be measured through the operational definition. Okay, and then operational definition. Operational definition is every variable in your hypothesis must be defined in measurable terms. For example, academic performance may be defined as student GPA at the end of the semester. And self-efficacy may be measured using the general self-efficacy scale by Schwarzer and Jerusalem in 1995. You must clarify the research, the operational definition. Wait. Hello? Hello? I'm here? Yeah. Okay, sekejap. Okay, wait for a minute. I took my delivery item. Sekejap. Okay, sorry for the delay. Okay, and then for deductive reasoning. Okay, for deductive reasoning, Doctor, the website mentioned is only Scopus, right? Any other resource we can use or refer to? Yes, you can refer to Eric. Other than that, you can also use Eric. Eric, this one for okay, Eric. This one for education resources. And also you can use Dimension AI. Okay, Dimension AI database. Dimension AI database. Okay. Okay, this one Dimension AI. This one is multi-dimensional. Dimension AI apps. Okay, this one is Dimension AI. You can use also other than Scopus. Okay, for the quantitative hypothesis are developed deductively. That's why they stem from existing theory or prior evidence. You may begin with the general theory, generic first, and then from the specific hypothesis, and then collect data to test. Okay, example based on the Bandura social cognitive theory, one may deduce that higher self-efficacy leads to better performance. This one is research plan. Okay, you need to understand when writing the hypothesis section, ensure it is clear, concise, and testable. Number two, define each variable operationally to indicate how it will be measured. And then number three, show your hypothesis in deductive reasoning, grounded in theoretical or empirical literature. They have two, grounded or in theoretical or empirical literature. And then use null hypothesis or alternative hypothesis if your study involves statistical testing. Okay, what is null and alternative hypothesis? Okay, hypothesis is statement that predicting relationship between variables. You have a variable, independent variable and dependent variables. In quantitative research, it must be testable using statistical analysis. We have two types. First one is null hypothesis, and the second one is alternative hypothesis, H1 or HA. Basically, you can use either one, okay, H1 or H null. Okay, for null hypothesis, is no relationship or no difference exists between variables. It also indicates that default position that any observed effect is due to chance, not the actual cause. Okay, for example, there is no significant relationship between student self-efficacy and their academic performance. Meaning changes in self-efficacy do not affect the academic performance. Okay, what is the main purpose is to serve as a baseline for statistical testing. If you try to reject the null hypothesis by showing evidence data that support the alternative explanation. Okay, number two, you can also have the alternative hypothesis, H1 or HA. Alternative hypothesis state that there is a relationship or difference between variables. It is a statement that you as a researcher believe or expect to be true. For example, there is a significant positive relationship between students' self-efficacy and their academic performance. Meaning to say that self-efficacy increase, academic performance also improve lah. You can choose. This one is basically is style. You what type of the style you want to use. Two type of alternative thesis. For the first one is one tail. One tail predict the direction of relationship, or you can use the two tail non-directional approach. Two tails predict difference or relationship but not the direction. For example, one tail is the student with higher self-efficacy have higher academic performance. This one is based on the direction. Non-directional two tail. For example, there is a significant relationship between self-efficacy and academic performance. They predict the differences relationship, but not the direction. Direction mean higher or lower. That one is two type of alternative hypothesis lah. Okay. Okay, this one is the introduction statement. Okay. Okay, and then we go for quantitative research plan. This one screenshot. What is this one? Okay. Methods. We have 5 major sections of quantitative research plan. So far, do you have any question? You can ask. Okay, if you have any question. Doctor, it is okay to use consensus? Yes, you can also use consensus. You can also use Kimi AI or u.com. Okay, Kimi AI or u.com, or else you can use Cloud AI. Okay. Okay, method 5 major section. Okay, first participant, you need to describe who will be involved in the study. Include the population, sample and sampling technique. Okay, this one include 3 entities. For the population, for example, you choose the all secondary schools teachers in Selangor. For example, the sample is 300 teachers being selected. And then the sampling technique, you use the random sampling, stratified sampling, purposive sampling, and so on. And then quantitative study often use or required a large sample to achieve the statistical power and emphasize the representativeness, how the sample reflect the population. For example, a total of 300 undergraduates students were selected through stratified random sampling based on the faculty and also gender. Okay, number 2 is instrument. Instrument refer to the tools or measure used to collect the data. Okay, example questionnaire, we have standardized tests, rating scale or psychological measure. This one for instrument. You need to describe name and sources. Okay, validity and reliability for the instrument. Example, Koromba alpha value. And then scoring procedures. For example, you using the Likert scale. Okay, for example, the self-efficacy scale by Schwarzer and Jerusalem 1995 was used, consisting of 10 items rated on the 4 Likert scale. And then if you stated 4 Likert scale, you need to explain why you choose the 4 Likert scale. And then number 3 is the design, the overall structure or plan of the study, how variables are manipulated or measured. Common design include descriptive, example, survey, okay, correlational, comparative, experimental, true or quasi-experimental. And then clearly you need to identify the independent and dependent variable, whether the study is cross-sectional or longitude study lah. For example, correctional research design was used to determine the relationship between self-efficacy and academic performance. Okay, you need to have a proper design. And then the procedure is step by step. How the research was being conducted. How participants were contacted and recruited. Okay, how ethical approval and informed consent were obtained. How instruments were administered and data are being collected. Also, you need to explain step by step how confidentiality was ensured. This section is show ethical integrity and methodological consistency. For example, participants were contacted via university email. Consent form was signed electronically. Okay, and survey were administered using Google Form or Monkey Survey and so on. You need to be specific. And data analysis. Data analysis, you must know how data will be analyzed. For example, descriptive and statistic, you need to describe the mean, the standard deviation, the frequency. For inferential statistic, okay, for example, t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression, chi-square, okay. Mention the software also. For example, you use the SPSS, R language, JASP, and so on. For example, if you use the Pearson analysis or Pearson correlation, was used to test the relationship between self-efficacy and academic performance using SPSS version 29. Okay, for the SPSS, you can install from Shopee, or else you can ask for ICT to install for you. This one is very important. The key important point here is you need to ensure the consistency. Consistency include the variable, hypothesis, and data analysis. And use clear operational definition for all variable. Okay. And then when you describe the operational definition, you must describe what you are using in your research. Do not simply the operational definition is too generic. For example, if you go for here, okay, this one, for example, skill development, what is skill development, and then this approach, you need to describe in your research. Okay, you need to uphold ethical standard. Okay, and present your study. Like you are using assessing student performance with a pre and post test case, and then what is JIBL module and so on. Please describe all the operational definition for all the variables that you have been include in your research lah. Okay, any questions so far? Is it okay? Boleh ke?
Okay, doctor, all clear.
Doktor?
Yes.
Tadi doktor ada cakap tentang apa, ask the ICT to install. Apa tu, what's that, the apps?
SPSS.
Oh, okay.
Okay, or else you can use the free one, JASP. JASP is a free one. This one is open source, JASP.
Okay.
This one is free, and this one is open source. You can download this one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the instrument the instrument is very important. Some of the students might get confused. What is instrument? Instrument is referred to the tools, task or device that you use to gather the quantitative data. In instrument section, you need to describe what instrument you use, why you choose the instrument, and how they were administered and scored. Okay, and then for the descriptive description of instrument, first you explain how each variable in your study is operationally defined and measured. For example, if you have a variable academic performance, academic performance measured using cumulative CGPA, GPA, and variable self-efficacy measured using the general self-efficacy scale. That one by Schweitzer and Jerusalem. And B is technical characteristic. Your report must have a validity, whether the instrument measured what is intended to measure. For example, the content validity confirmed by expert review. Construct validity established through the factor analysis. Okay. Number 2 is reliability, whether the instrument produce a consistent result. For example, Coromba alpha is 0.87, indicating the high internal consistency. And then you need to have scale or scoring system. For example, Likert scale, dichotomous yes or no, or numeric rating. This one is very important. And then you need to also have administration and scoring technique. Scoring technique is explain how the instrument was distributed. For example, online survey, paper-based test, and how response was scored or coded. This one is very important. You can have some appendix. Okay, and then mention any procedure to ensure the standardization. For example, some instruction, some duration, some condition. This one is more to intervention. What intervention that you ensure for every participant. For example, for class A and class B, you should have the standardized, okay, standardized administration technique. Okay, for example, the questionnaire was administered online through Google Form, taking approximately 15 minutes to complete. Score was computed by summing response on 5 Likert scale, with higher score reflecting greater self-efficacy. Okay, type of instrument commonly used in quantitative studies. Okay, first we use the test used to assess the knowledge, skill or performance. For example, we use the standardized assessment test, IQ test, or diagnostic assessment. It depends. If you are research for school, you need to have a standard assessment for school. And then questionnaire. Questionnaire is a set of written questionnaire designed to measure attitude, perception, or behavior. Often use Likert scale and allow for large-scale data collection efficiently. For questionnaire, basically you need to validate first the rubric, the validity from expert. And then lastly, a survey, a broader instrument designed to capture demographic, behavioral or opinion data from a large sample. This one is you can use printed or you can use online. Best practice for validated instrument. You can use the with permission and citation. If you develop a new instrument, pilot test you must establish the pilot test to establish the reliability and validity, and also clearly state how each variable is operationalized and ensure the ethical compliance. Please apply for the ethics from RMIT. Have you done all the ethics? Have you applied for ethics? RMIC? Yes or no?
No, doctor, I am not aware of it.
Yeah? Okay, if you not, you should apply for your ethics. Okay, this one is very important. Okay, for example, for thesis writing, the student engagement survey from Frederick ETL 2004 was used to assess behavioral, emotional and cognitive engagement. It also contained 20 items and on 5 Likert scale. Perombakan alpha values range from 0.78 to 0.92 across subscale, indicating high reliability. The survey was administered electronically via emails, links and also Telegram links to ensure the accessibility and conveniences of the participant. Okay, you can write like that. Okay, next. Any questions so far? No, sir. How to apply? You need to apply. You can ask faculty. You need to have a proposal and then you apply for research ethics. Okay. Okay, we continue. Purpose of design section. First, the research design provide a blueprint or framework that guide the entire study. From data collection to analysis, it also define how variables are related and compared, and also how data will be gathered and how finding can be interpreted objectively. For example, how will I test my hypothesis in controlled and measurable way? Okay, for the descriptive based on structure of the study, okay, you need to have a first type of quantitative design. You use the descriptive or you use the correlational or you use the experimental. This one is very important. You need to identify type of quantitative design. The second one is what variable you use. For example, independent, dependent, control variable. If you have a moderator, mediator, you should have the conceptual framework. And then the time frame. Time frame must also include whether the study is cross-sectional, one point in the time or longitudinal over time. You should have the Gantt chart. And then the logical control, how you minimize bias and ensure reliability. The logic of control is basically extraneous and intraneous factors. You should put in place. For example, this study employed a correlational design research designed to examine the relationship between self-efficacy as an independent variable and academic performance as dependent variable among undergraduate student. And then undergraduate student, you should define which undergraduate student. For example, undergraduate student that take or took example specific classes. For example, the psychometric class and so on. Okay, type of quantitative research design. Basically, we have a descriptive. Descriptive design is to describe the condition or characteristic of group or situation. For example, if you want to survey the teacher attitude towards online learning, you can use the descriptive design. Okay, and then if you are choosing correlational design, is to determine a relationship between two or more variables without manipulation. For example, you examine the link between study habits or AI habits and GPA. Okay, and then number 3 is causal comparative ex post factor is to compare group after the facts without manipulation of variable. For example, you comparing male and female. student to test the anxiety level. And then type of design is another one is we call it as experimental design. This one to establish cause and effect by manipulating independent variable and controlling the other factors lah. For example, if you test the effect of new teaching method on student achievement, okay, for the student achievement, you can also describe what is the student achievement based on the marks, based on the assessment that you give. For example, you give the MCQ question and so on. And then what is the effect of new teaching? You compare the traditional and the control group. You use AI and so on. And then the last one, you can use also quasi-experimental design. It's similar to experimental but like full randomization. Okay, this one is not the true experimental. If you use the true experimental, you should go to the lab. This one is more on quasi-experimental design, often used in field or classroom setting. Okay, for example, comparing two intact class, whether the random assignment is possible or not. Okay. Why quantitative design are highly structured and static? Because in quantitative design, the research is fixed before the data collection begin. You need to have the research design. You need to have the flow chart, Gantt chart, and so on. Very timely and very specific. And variable, instrument, and procedure are clearly defined and do not change during the study. Some of the students might confuse about the instrument, about the procedures. And then some of them might change the procedure during the data collection. That might affect the result. Okay. And then this ensure objectivity, replicability, and statistical precision. Researchers basically aim to minimize the personal bias by maintaining the consistency and standardized structure. For example, all participants completed the same questionnaire under identical condition, ensuring uniformity and also comparability of data. Some key consideration. First, choose a design that best match your research question and also hypothesis. Make sure you have a good research question and hypothesis. Justify the choice with the literature support. You do the literature based on the review paper and so on. Cite previous studies using the same design. And then thirdly, identify and control extraneous variable that could influence the result. Okay. Okay, how to control extraneous variable. Extraneous variable, if we want to control, for example, you need to reduce the bias and reduce the internal validity of your study. For example, does sleep duration affect the academic performance among university students? The independent variable is hours of sleep. Okay, you have also dependent variable, academic performance, example CGPA. And then possible external variable is intelligence level, caffeine intake, stress level, study habit, social economic background, SES, social economic status, and so on. If you don't control this factor, your result could be misleading. Okay, external factor is the most important things. Okay, maybe student with higher GPA simply study more or drink less caffeine, not because they sleep more. This one is external factor that also you should take into consideration. Okay, you can use strategies to control the extraneous variable. First, you can use the randomization, matching. You can hold the variable constant, or else you can use the statistical control. Okay, when randomization is not possible, if the common method, you can use ANCOVA, analysis of covariance, to control the continuous variable, example age, GPA, and then also you can use the regression analysis. Example, if stress level affect performance, measure it and include it as a covariate in ANCOVA. Okay, ANCOVA. But before you choose for ANCOVA, please test the MANOVA first. Okay, later I explain this one in this quantitative research more. Okay, the method procedures, detail the description of all steps that we followed in conducting studies. Okay, and then please make some assumption. This one is based on your research hypothesis. Okay, and then please also consider the external factors and also use some limitation. Size of sample study, length of the study, let's say 6 months and so on. This one you should include in your methodology. Some of the students might not taking into consideration. For example, for this study, chapter 3. Okay. Stages of research. Can you see the example? Okay, this research as detailed was executed in 3 stages. In chapter 1, it utilized the quasi-experimental, okay, and semi-structured interviews to comprehensive assess the module. She named it as a GIBL module. And then first, what stages? Investigate the RQ1 and RQ2. And then after that is using the pre and post and quasi-experimental design and utilize the SPSS for post descriptive and inferential statistical analysis. During the second stage, semi-structured interviews because it used the interview also, okay, to investigate the RQ3. Okay, and then final stage, the result from concept experiment and semi-structured were integrated. Okay, like this. Methodology of 3 stage research design. Okay, you need to have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. You need to clarify every objective, every method, and data analysis method. This one is very important. Okay, and then for demographic profile, you should have demographic, and then you should have the targeted population. Okay, and then this one sampling. What is your sampling? Either you sample through the random sampling. Okay. Okay, for this one, okay, it separated the experimental group and control group. And then you need to have some instrument, instrumental. What is your instrument? Okay. Okay, this one is CDEC module development, guided by CDEC module. And then and so on. Okay, this one is very important if you go for chapter 3. Okay, timeline and budget. Okay, timeline and budget. So far, do you have any question? Is it okay? Ada soalan ke? Okay, timeline and budget. Timeline is very important because it also have some activities and corresponding anticipated completion dates. First, in your study, you need a feasible. Okay, feasible study, organized and efficient. Major component of timeline. You need to list every major research activity or milestone. First, proposal preparation. Okay. Literature, problem statement and objective lah. And then number 2, ethical approval and permission. That one you need to apply. Instrumental development and adaptation. Number 4 is pilot study, data collection, data analysis and writing the full articles or thesis. Okay, you need to tick. For example, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5 and so on. Okay, a timeline is mandatory for funding application. For example, if you are funded by FRJS and so on, by grant, you need to have some timeline. And then use the software like Excel, Google Sheet or Microsoft Project to create the Gantt chart and review and update your timeline regularly with your supervisors. Okay, integrate with the budget plan. Okay, if you for example, if you need more field trip to take survey and so on, you must include in a budget plan. Okay, this one is budget. Quantitative research plan. You need to have budget like salaries, telephone bill, travel, okay, and optional in many plans. Okay, we go for qualitative research plan. This one I go in review because some of you might use the qualitative to strengthen up their study. Qualitative research design is characterized by open-ended and emergent design. Okay, the influence of prior fieldwork is based on a pre-proposal fieldwork. Okay. Okay, additional ethical issues. Okay, you need likelihood anticipated and unreviewed ethical issues. For example, here you can use objective collection and interpretation of data and aligning professional and personal ethical perspective. You can invite any expert to validate your qualitative research design. Okay, seek a general component of qualitative research design. Okay, if you have a question, you can ask. Okay, first title of the study. You need to understand. Title is qualitative design should reflect the phenomena, the participant and the context rather than variable or hypothesis. It's very different from quantitative. It usually use the descriptive and exploratory, capturing the essence of the inquiry. For example, exploring the lived experience of first year medical student during the online anatomy learning. Okay, and then another example, understanding the coping strategy of parents with autistic children in Malaysia. Okay, avoid overly technical or rigid phrasing. Qualitative title often beginning with the words like exploring, understanding, examining or investigating. This one is very open-ended title. And then for the introduction for the study, in qualitative research, there is no hypothesis. The research aim to discover meaning, not to test the prediction. Okay, basically you articulate how the research problem and the purpose of the statement. For example, the purpose of this study is to explore on how AI will influence the teaching and learning. And present research question, typically open-ended question like how do teachers perceive inclusive education practices in rural schools. Okay, research procedures. Research procedures or methodology method in qualitative study. It includes the research design, for example, phenomenology, grounded theory, GT, case study, ethnography and narrative inquiry lah. Okay. The participant is usually purposeful, not random. Very specific to the target. For example, if you want to study the ADHD student, is very specific. Focusing on individuals who have direct experience with the phenomenon. Okay. Quantitative. Okay, and then data collection, interviews, you can use interviews, focus group, observation, document analysis or reflective journals. Okay, you can also, for data analysis, you can also use thematic analysis. Okay, you can use content analysis, grounded theory coding. You can use open, Axial, selective coding and so on. And then trustiness, strategies like triangulation, member checking, audit trails, and reflexibility ensure credibility and validity. For example, data were collected through semi-structured interview with 15 experienced teachers. Okay, the thematic analysis following the Brown and Clark 2006 six-step framework was used to identify the recurring themes. Okay, and then potential contribution of the study, explain the significant and expected outcome. Highlight on how your finding might contribute to existing theory or practice, inform policies development or improve understanding of human experiences. For example, this study will contribute to growing body of literature on online learning experiences in medical education, for example, offering insight for curriculum designer to enhance the student engagement. And then please use limitation. Every qualitative study has boundaries that define what it can be done and what cannot be done, cannot be claimed. This may include the sample size, small and context specific, researcher bias, okay, and transferability. Result may not generalize but can be applicable to similar contexts. For example, since the study was focused on one institution, the finding may not be transferable to other universities. However, they provide the deep insight into student experience within these specific settings. For example, you set the limit. And then appendices include the supporting material. This one is very, I think for qualitative PhD. If you use the qualitative, the thickness is unimaginable, very thick. First, you can do the interview guide. You can put in the appendix. You can put also the observation checklist, informed consent form, ethics approval letters. Same goes to quantitative. Ethics approval letters from JPN, from PPDs and from school you need to attach. And then data coding sample, research timeline or Gantt chart. Okay. Okay, for qualitative research plan. Okay, so far do you have any question? Is it okay? Okay, the qualitative research plan for the title, you need to convey key concept of the study. Qualitative title must be clearly express the central phenomena or central case that you explore. The main idea, experience or process under investigation. You need to be specific. Unlike the quantitative title, which often name variable and relationship, some of the thought. For quantitative, you should have IV and DVs. For qualitative, you should have title emphasize the meaning and context. They should answer why it is being explored, who is involved, in what context, in setting. For example, if you see the title like exploring the life experience of refugee woman in Malaysia, Shuttler, or understanding how novice teacher develop professional identity in Islamic school, or as a case study of compassionate leadership among hospital administrator and so on. Okay, use action verb such as exploring, understanding, examining, investigating, or interpreting for the title. And provide framework for continuation reflection. The title also serves as a philosophical and conceptual compass for researcher throughout the study. For example, exploring the teacher experience with online teaching. It may evolve to exploring teachers, emotional adaptation to online teaching during COVID-19 transition. Okay, this one, qualitative research refine a sign of depth, not instability. Okay, number 3, serve as conceptual point of references. Okay, the title acts as an anchor for the study concept boundaries. Every decision from research questions, sampling, and data collection to analysis interpretation should be aligned with the concept embedded in the title. Okay, for example, narrative of resilience among cancer survivors. Then your method, narrative interviews and analysis story-based coding must be aligned conceptually with resilient and narrative meaning. Okay, in conclusion, you can have a strong qualitative title, not just the label, either living guide that also reflect the spirit of inquiry the researcher should provide. It should be specific enough to focus your study, yet broad enough to allow discovery and also for some reflections. Okay, this one is introduction. Okay, what you need to have for qualitative research. I think this one I go in brief because some of you okay, most of you is quantitative. Okay, qualitative only Michelle. Michelle, quantitative lah. For introduction, is different from quantitative. Okay, first you need to frame the study. Frame the study means providing the context, rationale, and significance of research using conceptual or theoretical frame of reference that help reader to understand why the study matters. Okay, and then number 2 is the purpose. Framing serves to demonstrate the relevance of your topic to current human, social, or cultural issues and show how your study contribution to theory, educational practice, or solving a real-world problem. For example, if you for qualitative, is this study explore how Muslim medical students experience moral conflict in anatomy dissection using Islamic ethical perspective as conceptual frame. It seeks to understand how faith shape their moral reasoning. Okay, for purpose of framing, for the qualitative is more contextualized. For quantitative is more you can use the hypothesis lah. Nature of framing for qualitative is more exploratory, interpretive and flexible. For quantitative is deductive, structured, fixed, aim for precise relationship between variables. You need to test the variables. And then for outcome, for qualitative, it produces rich description insight and theoretical understanding. Basically, you have grounded in participant experiences. For quantitative, it's more measurable result, confirming or rejecting the hypothesis. Okay. A component of a strong qualitative frame is identify the context, describe the conceptual or theoretical framework, state the significance, and explain the practice contribution. Okay, in summary, that we can conclude that for qualitative framing, to connect the study to meaning, culture, and theory, for orientation, it uses the inductive and interpretive for qualitative, and also the outcome to understand and to have a better or general insight. For quantitative is to connect the study to theory and also to the variable, the impact, direct causal impact and so on. The orientation is deductive and analytical. And then for the outcome is based on the explanation and prediction for every research hypothesis. Okay, this one for qualitative, we have introduction. Okay, any question? Is it okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, for initial research question, first you need to specify the research question is not fixed at the beginning. It emerge and also evolve. The key idea qualitative research question is aimed to explore and understand, not to measure. This one is not to measure. This one is more on to explore. Because the emergent nature of qualitative inquiry is normal for research question to be redefined. Number two, why specifying question is difficult at early on? Okay, because the slide stated the specifying research question is difficult because the qualitative study is flexible and iterative. Iterative. Okay, early on, you only have a broad idea of inquiry and the question developed organically. For example, how do teachers experience the online learning? After initial interview, you may refine it to how do primary school teachers manage emotionally exhaustion during online teaching in rural Malaysia? Okay, you can have some input basically when you do some interviews. And then maybe you can link closely to the theory, policy or practical problem. Okay, to reframe your study. For example, the theoretical lens. Example, constructivist, feminist, Islamic worldwide, phenomenologies and so on. And then also you can relate to a practical problem. Example, emotional burnout, student disengagement, cultural adaptation and so on. Or else you can also associate with the policy or educational relevance. For example, curriculum reform, leadership training and ethical practice. Example, if you are framing based on Islamic ethics in medical education, you can might ask, how do Muslim medical students interpret ethical boundaries during anatomy dissection? Okay, and then you can also for the purpose to explore meaningful experiences, and then the form question is how, what, and or why question. For the quantitative is does, is, to whom extent question. For example, what are the experiences of mothers caring for children with autism? That one is qualitative. For quantitative, is there a relationship between stress level and sleep quality among mothers of autistic children? Okay, approach to change can evolve during the data collection. Okay, for quantitative is determined before data collection begin. It's very different. Because in qualitative, it is inductive. Inductive. For the quantitative is deductive. Okay, deductive. Connection to the theory for qualitative is theory may emerge from data. Okay, if you you can put aside the theory first, and then if you have some questionnaire, you can conclude what theory you can embed upon the from the questionnaire. And then for the quantitative, the theory is tested through data, the relationship, how you want to integrate the data and so on. Okay, for summarization, in qualitative research, your initial research question is starting compass, not the final map. Okay, you just initiate some of the survey, or you want to have some input. That one is just a beginning. It evolves through the reflection, engagement, and interpretation. Staying grounded in your theoretical or practical frame. This one is very close to qualitative. Okay, we go for the introduction, review of the literature. Okay, this one for qualitative. Okay, for the review of the literature, especially in qualitative research, the literature review serve to situate the study with a broader context. For example, conceptual and contextual background, but it not used to dictate hypothesis or predefined variable, as you can see and discuss in quantitative studies. The key idea here is, for example, the review help you to understand what is already known, what is already identified, what is known, what is unknown, and show how your study will contribute to deeper understanding. How it differ from quantitative literature review. For example, purpose. For qualitative research to understand meaning and provide conceptual grounding for exploring experiences. Okay, for quantitative to identify gap, you must have the gap. The timing for qualitative may be ongoing and iterative, but for quantitative conducted before the study. Okay, function of literature review. Okay, first to link the study to assumption and theories. For example, if your qualitative research explore how Muslim medical students interpret with this section, your review might link to Islamic bioethics, professional identity formation, and emotional resilience theories. And then number 2 is assess researcher preparedness. Okay, you need to demonstrate that you understand the key concept, debates, and context related to your study. And number 3, identify the potential gap in the literature. Okay, to uncover what aspect of human experiencing or meaning remain unexplored. For example, parallel study may have examined the stress among nurses quantitatively, but few explore how nurses make sense of moral distress. Moral distress is qualitative gap, not the quantitative gap. Okay, you need to identify the potential gap, and then you should have you need to distinguish between quantitative and qualitative. Okay, and then suggested promising educational practice. by synthesizing the literature, you can identify the practical strategies and pedagogical insight that your study may extend. And then number 5, refine the initial research question. Okay, you need to refine. For example, initial research question, how do medical students learn empathy? But after reviewing the literature, you can use how do clinical experiences shape Muslim medical students to understand of empathy in patient care. Okay, you can refine the initial question. Okay, number 6, embed the research question in guiding hypothesis. Okay, qualitative guiding hypothesis are not statistical hypothesis. It's very different. They refer to conceptual expectation, general idea or assumption that orient or subject to your exploration. These hypotheses are flexible and reflective. Used to guide observation and interpretation, not to be tested or proven. Okay. For example, guiding hypothesis, spiritual belief may influence how Muslim students interpret dilemmas in autonomy practice. Okay, basically for qualitative research, the literature review is not a destination. It is conversation with existing knowledge. You can have a guiding hypothesis by interviewing some of the participant, guided participant. Okay. It also build your interpretive foundation, help you to refine your question and ensure that your study contribute something original, contextually meaningful and theoretical sound. Okay, for the procedures, it have 8 sections. For qualitative, it's very specific. Okay, first description of overall approach and rationale of the study. You need to have some overview of your study. This one is very important. What qualitative approach you are using? Example, phenomenology, grounded theory, case study, ethnography, narrative research, and so on. And then you need to justify why this approach is appropriate for your research question. Okay, this one is very important. For example, phenomenological approach is used to explore the lived experience of Muslim medical students during anatomy dissection. This design appropriate because it allows a deep understanding of participant, personal meaning and emotion. Okay, the rational link between your methodological choice compare with the philosophical stance. Example, constructivist, you have interpretivist from the psychological views and so on. And site and sample selection. Site and sample selection were studied to take place. The site who participate, how they were selected sampling. For common sampling strategy for qualitative, you can have purposive sampling. You can have snowball sampling. Participant refers others with relevant experiences. And then you can have a maximum variation sampling. You can have a criterion sampling. Selecting the participant who meet the specific criteria. For example, anatomy student who completed the dissection is selected. Okay, this one is criteria based on the criteria. Number 3 is the researcher role. You must describe your position. For example, your background, your assumption, your potential basis, how you build the trust, how you ensure the reflexivity, for example, self-awareness about your influence on the data and so on. And then number 4 is data collection method. The selection detail how data are gathered. For example, you are using interviews, structured, semi-structured and unstructured. And then you can have a focus group, you can have observation, you can have document or artifact analysis. As example, student reflection, student diaries and so on. And then data management method, you need to describe how data will be stored, organized and protected. For example, all interviews were transcribed verbatim and stored in encrypted folders. And Vivo software was used for coding and team organization. And then data management method, data analysis strategy, This section explain how you want to interpret and make sense of the data. For example, if you choose the thematic analysis for identify the pattern or themes, or else you can use the grounded theory analysis, you can use the narrative analysis, or else you can use the phenomenological analysis, that extracting essences of lived experiences. Example, Mostaka or Colizzi method. And then number 7 is trustworthiness features. Instead of validity or reliability used in quantitative research, qualitative research ensure the trustworthiness. The credibility, confident in finding the truth of finding. How to achieve it? For credibility, member checking, triangulation, prolonged engagement. For transferability, you can, how to achieve it? You take description of content and also the participant. And then you have dependability and conformability. And then the last one will be ethical consideration. Ethical consideration for quantitative is I think 1 or 2 lah. But for ethical consideration, you need to have informed consent. Participant understand purpose, risk and right. Number 2 is confidentiality and anonymity. No identifying informed chat. For example, you put student A, student B, student C. Okay, you put the number, student 1, student 2, student 3. This one is for confidentiality. Okay, you put study 1, study 2, study 3. Okay, basically you put the interviewer 1, interviewer 2, interviewer 3. And then number 3, right to withdraw at any time. Number 4, cultural and religious sensitivity, especially when you put religious in your study, and then you need to ethical approval from RMIC. Okay, this one is very important. Okay, as conclusion, the procedure section of qualitative research plan provide a blueprint for credible and ethical inquiry procedures. Okay, but we have 8 section. It demonstrates the researcher competency, flexibility, methodological rigor. Okay, this one is very important for qualitative research plan. Okay, this one procedures. Okay, this one I explained. Okay, trustworthiness features, ethical consideration, and so on. And this one I have explained. Okay, general research plan. I think we continue next week. Next week, we go for general research plan. Okay, this one, identify the topic. Okay, main source and so on. Okay, so far any question? Is it okay?
Okay, doctor.
Please remember the
Doctor, can you share all these slides into the group?
Yeah, I've shared in my guru.
Okay, my group. Okay, fine.
My guru. You should open my guru. Do you have my guru?
Yes, I think I have.
Okay. Okay, and also please answer some activity in Wakelet. and upload to Padlet lah. Okay class, I think that's all for today. Thanks for coming by and listening. Okay, another 2 weeks is your deadline for your first assignment.